Sir, is that what you're ready?
We're ready? Okay, good. 3. Everybody get your hand up.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Gotta go through it.
Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
There are two things that we do extremely well in the National Guard. And I got to say extremely well twice because that is exactly how I feel about that. And I know General Anchorage, I'm with them, feel the same way when we get a chance to go out and see the great work that the men and women of the National Guard do. It is truly phenomenal. The three things we do very well are we fight America's wars. And of course, with that, we provide forces to our Air Force and Army. We protect and respond to requirements in the homeland. We support our governors every day. And we build partnerships around the globe and at home. And I thought I'd share just a few things of where we're doing that today. So today we have 20,490 guardsmen deployed overseas. Some of those are at home getting ready to go right here before Christmas. Some are getting ready to come home. A few will get home before Christmas. Some are at the mob station demobbing right now. But well over 17,000 of those are actually pre-positioned through this holiday period, and they'll be deployed forward with their families back here. Since 9/11, 760,000 Air and Army Guardsmen have mobilized. In addition to that, the Air Guard is always setting alert. They perform 30% of the Air Force's mission today, and much of it on a 72-hour notice, unless you're in the homeland, and then it's on a minute's notice. The Army Guard is validating units at a maximum of 50 to 80 days to deployment. That's a full brigade combat team, our division headquarters. And as we traveled the first week of November, we traveled over to Afghanistan, to Kosovo, to Germany, to Qatar to visit an Army and Air. And I found it very interesting that most of the Air Guardsmen, when I said, how much was your post-mobilization time? And they said, what's that? I got a ticket and I showed up in Qatar. Or I got a ticket and I met my unit and we arrived with flight F-16s out of Kandahar. But I asked the Army, which for years, we've been working at this, to get this down to a manageable amount of time that they spend post-mobilization. Small detachments, 15 days from the time they arrive at the mob station, they deploy. The average for a company is probably about 30 days, no more than 45 days. That's pretty phenomenal for the nation. At home, actually, let me share one other thought, because I had an email this morning from Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan, and it was from Colonel Hunt Kerrigan, our former deployed National Guard representative, and he said, "Sir, we celebrated the 377th birthday of the National Guard in Bagram this morning. General Tim Cavity provided remarks, and he re-enlisted 31 Army and Air Guardsmen there in Bagram." We are from the homeland. We are of the community and for the community as a National Guard. And with that, today there's 3,026 Guard members. I always call it forward deployed in the homeland doing missions. And I'll share a few thoughts on what we're doing in the domestic operations field. And probably for 2013, we're going to finish up. Hopefully there won't be any major disasters in the last few weeks here, but we're going to finish up with about 150 domestic operation missions we've done in the homeland in 2013. In addition to that, we have 57 civil support teams sent on a 90-minute notification to roll out. And I read about these over and over. Bill, I know you and JC get the same reports I do. Every weekend right now, there's 6 or 8 of these on call somewhere for some event in the United States. In addition to the 57 civil support teams, we have 10 Homeland Defense, Homeland Response Forces that can do the chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear detection and response and help those that might be affected by an incident. We have 10 of those now, one per FEMA region, 566 soldiers and airmen in each one. We have 17 chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear enhanced response force packages of about 182 per. There's 17 of them out across the nation on a very short order. I think the last I saw, they've got to be able to roll out the gate in 6 hours from a cold start. And they're mostly not full-time. In addition to that, a mission that the active component is supposed to fill someday. But as long as the war's going on, the Guard continues to fill. And it's the command and control chem bionuclear radiological capability of about 1,500 led by Alabama Guard today out of the Chemical Brigade. And they're on a very short notice as well. So that enterprise today is made up of about 70% National Guard. Just an example of what we do in the homeland. On the air side, 941 air guardsmen are setting alert under North American Aerospace Defense Command's alert mission. We've been doing that since 1958, I believe, under the NORAD agreement. 45 or 7 tankers every day protecting the skies of America. If the threat stream comes in, we ramp that up. So if somebody decides to fly through the airspace of the National Capital Region, as an example right now, they will be greeted very rapidly by the 113th Fire Wing of the DC National Guard. And if that doesn't work for some reason, the JDOC, which is positioned the last line of defense of the nation's capital, is filled right here every day since 2003 by the Army National Guard and some Air Guard members as well. The Joint Air Defense Operations Center based out of Bowling is the nation's last line of defense. And I would ask you, if you get a chance to go out and see some of these great Americans that set out to watch 24/7 here in DC, you would be fascinated. And I have a lot of people that come up to me and say it's the best we have. It's pretty much run by South Carolina Guard and supported about another 10 states year-round. 176 soldiers and airmen on the southwest border today, supporting Customs and Border Protection. Another 1,500 doing counter-narcotics, counter-drug missions around the map. Pretty amazing, huh? And people say the Guard's not operational, we're going back to a strategic reserve. We're never going back to a strategic reserve.
I'm certain that the colonists standing on the village green in Salem, Massachusetts, nearly 4 centuries ago, could never have imagined what their militia descendants would accomplish today. We've gone from matchlock muskets to M1 tanks, from swords and pontoons to missiles designed to shoot down other missiles. But just as our ancestors would be amazed by today's technology, we share our own amazement at what they were able to achieve with far fewer resources. Think back for a moment. Farmers and tradesmen with little formal military training or no military training stood their ground against the greatest army in the world at that time, and they forged a nation. Our National Guard predecessors battled brother against brother in a bloody civil war that cost our country more lives than all our other wars combined. They fought with bayonet and machine gun in the trenches of France. They stormed the beaches of North Africa, Sicily, Anzio, and Normandy, as well as the Philippines, Okinawa, and countless other jungle-choked islands in the Pacific. And not just in war, they rescued their neighbors from the rubble and the fire that engulfed San Francisco after the devastating earthquake in 1906. They pulled families off rooftops following the Great Mississippi Flood of 1927. They cared for thousands after Camille hit the Gulf Coast in 1969, and Agnes, the East Coast, in 72, and Andrew in Florida in 1992. We have a rich shared history. We're all proud to be part of our nation's oldest military organization, and this generation has carried on the legacy of bravery and service. Each of you in this room has taken part in writing new events in our National Guard history books. I'm confident that my successor 50 years from now will add Iraq and Afghanistan to the list of places where the bravery of the Guard was demonstrated for all to see. And he or she will also list Katrina and Sandy as shining examples of the National Guard, once again coming to the rescue of Americans in their hour of need. This is a great day for our soldiers, our airmen, our civilian workforce, and all of our family members. Enjoy this special day. You earned it. May God continue to bless our country, our military, their families, the National Guard, and each one of you. And I wish you all a tremendously happy 377th birthday. Thanks.
General Grass, General Ingram, thank you very much for allowing the Air Guard to come over here to Arlington Hall and participate in this wonderful birthday celebration this morning. I'd also like to thank the event organizers. As you all know, these events just don't happen by themselves. So let's just pause right now and give everybody a hand to put on this great event. Most importantly, though, I want to thank all of our soldiers, airmen, contractors, civilians. Thank you for taking time to come out and no kidding celebrate this fantastic event with us as we stop and pause and celebrate our National Guard's 377th birthday. As you all know, these have been tough times for those of us in the Department of Defense and in the military business. Not only has this nation been at war for over 12 years, but as you all know, we're all facing tough budgetary times right now. But even with that, it's good that we take time to pause and honor and reflect on our history and celebrate that history, especially here on the National Guard's birthday. The Air National Guard, the Air Force, and the nation rely on the men and women of the Air National Guard. During this time, our Air Guardsmen must continue to be flexible, adaptable, and resilient, and continue to operate with distinction around the world. Our total force and our joint force absolutely depend upon it. I'd also like to pause right now. We talk about this history. I'd like to pause and just reflect on a couple of historical tidbits of our Air National Guard. Our Air Force this year celebrates its 66th birthday. It's the youngest service. It began in 1947, but our Air National Guard actually started their history somewhat before that. In November 1915, then Lieutenant Reynold Bowling was appointed commander of the 1st Aero Squadron, New York National Guard, for those New York Guardsmen that happen to be here this morning. And this organization is recognized as the first genuine National Guard aviation unit well before the Air Force was founded in 1947. Since then, the Air National Guard has evolved into a distinct, highly capable warfighting Homeland Defense Force that General Grass talked about a few minutes ago, and it's in our communities across the nation in all 89 Air Guard wings, 54 states, the territories, and the District of Columbia. Also, one more tidbit. Did you all know that Charles Lindbergh was a National Guardsman based on the time? He was a member of the Missouri National Army. Of course, he was the first person to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean in 1927. For his accomplishments, he received the Medal of Honor, one of only 3 Guardsmen ever to receive the nation's Guard aviators to receive the nation's highest military honors. These are just a couple of tidbits as we celebrate our history as part of our birthday today. And what's most important out of this, we want all of our Guardsmen, our soldiers and airmen, to remember that you're a proud part of this history, and we want you to tell your story. So I encourage you all, as we think on these tidbits on our birthday, you all have a story to tell also. So go out there and tell your story as part of being a member of this National Guard on our birthday. Thanks for your time this morning. I wish everybody a happy holiday and happy birthday, National Guard.
Lieutenant General and Mrs. Ingram for lighting on the holiday tree.
Also, I want to say to everybody carols being sung by a choir, and folks dress up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded with lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is going to spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Dreaming of a white Christmas, and the reason why I can dream and I have nightmares about it is because you all made it possible and safe for us to do so. White Christmas. Dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetop glistens and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas with every Christmas card I write. May your day Why?